Most people don't start a business to get rich. They start a business to get free. And then they wake up 1 year later, overworked and underpaid, and wonder how they've got themselves into a newly built prison. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the self-made freedom formula that you need to think about before you start your business so that you can build freedom and time and money into your dream business. Let's go. All right, so we are diving into the self-made freedom formula, and there are 4 components to this formula that we need to look at to make sure that you can get the best results from starting a business and actually doing something that you love. So the first thing we look at is vision. In this vision, what does freedom really mean to you? Yes, of course, we'd all love Lamborghinis and the beach house in Bali and all that kind of stuff, but in reality, for me anyway, freedom comes from having money left over to pay everyone, including myself, every single month in my business with ease and flow. It also means that I do work that lights me up. It also means being present for my kids and having time for my partner, my family, my child. Like those things for me really are freedom. Freedom for me is when I want to go to see my family or I want to travel and I can do it without even thinking and not worrying about the price tag on things. This is real freedom for me. This is what I have built into my business. And I did this exercise and I want to show you how to make it work for you. So the first thing we're going to look at is vision. Okay, so I want you to take a pen and paper and we're going to start writing down what you want your life to look like. We can't build a roadmap unless we know where we're going. And so your vision is going to be completely different to anyone else's. And so we cannot build out a business model that just works for everyone. We have to build one that works for you. So what do you want your life to look like? We start with you. You can go into as much depth with this as you want, but here's some like key starters for you. How many hours do you want to work? Depending on the business model, you're going to have to plow in different amounts of hours. So I'm a mother and I built this business that I currently do right now, helping other people build their businesses on a format that gives me what I need out of it for maximum 6 hours a day. Now, of course, there's ebbs and flows and seasons where you're going to have to put more in, and that's just the life of entrepreneurship and building. But eventually you get to a tipping point where you don't need to continually pour in 10, 15 hours a day. You can actually build it towards the thing that you're doing. So for me, I'm building towards maximum 6 hours a day. Why? Because my son is at school and then I can use those hours to work. Outside of those hours, I don't want to be working. I want to be using my freedom to be able to spend my time in different ways. And so I built a business around that fact. So that's for me. What is it for you? How many hours can you put in? How many hours do you feel like would feel good for you in your business? You might love working and want to work 15-hour days, and that's cool. I've done that too. You have to really think about the type of business that you want to have and what works for you. The next is what you can invest in getting started. So depending on what type of business we choose, for example, product-based businesses are going to be much heavier on investment than service-based businesses. So, you know, building out online courses is going to be some money there that involved with like building out the technical side of it. Can you just go to market with something you have? What do you have right now ready to invest? If you don't have anything to invest, there's literally limitations on what you can. Starting a product-based business with no money, you're not going to get very far. So we need to think about how much money you can invest and for how long you can do that as well. What is the dream outcome? Like, do you want 5 houses around the world? Do you want 1 house? Do you want to be able to just pay yourself a salary and you'll be okay with it? Do you want to have, you know, boats and jet skis? And what is it that you want? I work with so many businesses and we never really take time to sit down and think, actually, what do I want from this? Because the way that I work and the way that I build businesses with clients is we answer these questions first so that we can reverse engineer what it is that we want to make the thing do what we want it to do. So for example, if we want, you know, the 10 houses and the yachts and the Ferraris or whatever it is, we're going to have to build and serve a particular type of clientele. We're going to have a particular type of collaborations. We're going to have to be serving a certain market. If I'm working with a business owner who wants to be self-employed and just make 10K months and kind of have a really nice kind of cushy version of how she wants to live and just live on that because she's, you know, that's her number, then brilliant, we can do that too. But it means we have to use different building blocks to do those 2 different things. So knowing what the dream outcome is, what are we actually building here? How much time do you have? How much money do you have? What do you want to spend your days like? is really, really important to the outcome that we choose in terms of business model and business building. So write down as many things as you can about the type of life that you want to live. How much time do you want? How much money do you want? That type of thing. Then we're going to move on to this area, which is your current amount of money. How much does it cost you to live your life comfortably now? So what I want you to do is take a bit of time and think about all your outgoings every month. So the things that it just costs you to be as you are right now, in your state that you are right now. And then put a number next to that. So it might be that you got X amount on rent, you've got X amount on bills, you might have X amount on school, you've got X amount on other expenses, car, petrol, food shopping, things like that. Like, what are the absolute, like, basic things that you're spending right now to live the life that you live? On top of that, I want you to add in your non-negotiables. So what are the things that you will spend money on every single month that you don't like, you need to have them? So for example, with me and Project 43, if you see me following on Instagram, I'm building in self-care time into that project. So I want to be able to have acupuncture, I want to be able to have a massage every month, and I want to be able to spend money on my own self-care time, nails, hair, whatever it is, right? So I'm building that in. They're my non-negotiables. Like, I'm having that because that's the standard that I need for myself. So those non-negotiables get put in every month as well. And then come up with that number. So what do you need to live right now? That's our current number that we need to live on. Then I want you to think about where we're going in the future. So how much money do you want to save each month? So on top of that number that you have, that you know now it costs you to live, how much money do we need additionally to save? What do we want to put into the rainy day fund? Then I want you to think about how much money you might want for traveling each month, each quarter, each year, whatever it is. How many trips would you, in your ideal world, once you've built this business that serves you and that pays you the exact amount that you want, how much traveling, or how much money, how much budget do you want to be able to spend on traveling? How much do you want for eating out? How much do you want to spend on things for you and your family, clothes, like experiences, like anything that you want to do with you and your family on a monthly basis? How much budget do you want for that? And you can over budget as well. You can put, okay, in our current life, we spend $1,000 on these types of things every month, but actually I love doing it and I want to do more of it. So I want $2,000 to be able to spend on these things every month, whatever it is. You just come up with a number that would feel very, very comfortable in your life to have that budget there every single month to be able to do those things that you love. Remember, we're building a freedom business here. We're not building something that only just meets the number, that current number. We're building something that equals freedom for you. So if you need time to be able to, do those things with your family, you also need budget as well. So make sure you put in those things. How much money do you want to invest every month? We're building businesses. Like, let's get our money working for us. So we need an X amount that we're going to put back into the business. And we need X amount that we're going to invest, put somewhere else, build for our futures. So how much money do you want in that bucket too? Once you've accounted for all the numbers, your current number that's costing you to live now, you might say, okay, I spend X amount on rent right now, but actually I want to live in a better place and it's going to cost $5,000 more. Okay, then that's a number that we're adding in to this. And this becomes our independence number. This is the number that we need to make in our businesses every single month, so that we have full independence, so we have freedom, so that we can do the things that we want in our life, so we can turn back and say, wow, I built this thing and look how much I make, and this is my perfect number. What is that number? We need to really nail down and get to the nitty-gritty of you figuring out what that independence number is. Once we have that number, we can understand how we can get there, and only then and only then can we understand how we're going to build the strategy to build a business that will serve us in that way. So making sure that you've got your independence number is absolutely key here. A little tip on this one, if you are going to build this independence number, I would always have a mood board of the things that you've written over here in terms of your dream outcome, what you're spending your time doing, what you're spending your money on, where you're going, who you're spending it with, how much money you have in your bank every single month, and make a mood board. I have that mood board. It's my future vision, and it's on my screen, say my desktop, every single day when I open my laptop, because I'm working towards it, and every single day my actions in my business take me closer to that. So having it somewhere you can physically see it will remind you every day, and your subconscious will also start working on it. So it's a great little tip to have it somewhere you can see it every single day. Okay, once we've got our independence number, we know how much money we want to make every month. Then we think about, what do we want to sell, right? What is our dream? You might already be in business, you might already be selling something, or you might just be starting out and you want to think about what would be the best thing to do to start a business on. So do you want to sell products? Do you want to sell services? Or do you want to sell digital products or courses, something like that? Like, what is the thing that we're going to go out into the world and sell? Because once you make this decision, it will then feed the next decision. So if you're already like selling products, then we need to think about how you can scale that and what are the steps for you to make that more successful. If you want to go and sell your services, then it's about you and the skill and the talent that you have. And if you want to sell digital courses and products, we need an audience and we need to be able to sell one-to-many. So again, if you're not sure, ask yourself, where do you have skills? If you have a set of skills that you've nurtured over the last 20 years and you've got something that you can give, you've either maybe left a job in corporate and you have an amazing skill set that you can go out and teach other people. You might have a set of skills that you've learned, over running your business for the last couple of years, like I've done. I've done 20 years of running businesses, and now I'm selling that skill to other people to help them build their business. I can do that in a service model, i.e. one-to-one. I can do consulting for businesses, or I can go and sell coaching, and I can sell products within that as well. If you already have, so if you have skills, you could starting with a service model makes the most sense. Okay, do I have an audience? If you've got an audience already, maybe you've got a profile, you've got visibility on an audience, or you've got an audience from somewhere else. Selling products or coaching will be an easier step for you. And then the last part of this is, do I have the money to invest? Like I mentioned before, products need money to invest in a longer term before successful hit. So you need to know that selling products is going to take money to be able to build that thing. It's going to take time and money. To take something to the market in terms of a service, you can do that much quicker and much faster if you've got a skill that you can sell. So here's a little bit of quick math. Once you've thought about whether you want to sell a product or a service, take that independence number that you have written down, the one that's your absolute ideal number that you want to make every single month, and divide it by the average cost of your product or service. Okay, and then you're gonna have a number which gives you the amount of sales you'll need to reach every month to get to that number. So for example, let's say we want to get $30,000 a month, and I'm going to charge $2,000 per client. I'm going to need 15 clients a month. Okay, that gives us a really tangible number to understand if that's feasible or not. If you decided on a product and you want to make $30,000 a month, and each product is $50, it's going to give you an idea of how many products you're going to have to sell to make that number work. And depending on how many products you're going to have to sell, we're going to have a huge audience to be able to sell to that. Selling to 15 clients a month isn't completely out of possibility if I've got a really good skill that I can sell to people. And I don't even really need a big audience to hit that number as well. I just need a really good strategy and business plan to get there. But having something like 500 sales a month or 300 sales a month to hit your number, you can obviously see the problem here in terms of building a business from scratch. You're going to have to need some other assets. You might need investment. You might need backing from someone. You might need to have, a really good low-key supplier. Like, it depends on what assets you have, whether you can make it work or not. Don't forget that you have a very unique perspective on the world. What you take for granted, other people will pay for. So you think that, oh, I just know these things, but actually there's so many things that people will pay for, your genius and your knowledge, and you can turn that into a business. It's just about making sure you've got the right stepping stones to get there. So just before we wrap this up, I just want to give you some freedom killers to avoid when you're starting out your business journey, or if you're already in your journey. Don't follow trends, follow value. It's really important that you can solve a problem in the real world for your customers. If you can bring value, solve someone's problem, you have a business. If you can do it in your own unique methodology, then you're absolute on a winner. Don't worry about everyone else is doing. Do the thing that can bring the most value to your clients, and you will always win. Number 2, don't chase passive income. Build predictable income first. When you're starting out, or if you've not hit 6 figures yet, it's really important to make sure you are building a rinse and repeat formula in your business. That is the number one thing that people miss, is that we are building a formula that we can follow and rinse repeat to build predictable income. What we do not want is be following these trends that are like, build passive income. It's not the case. We need to build predictable income first, and then we can look at passive income after. Number 3, don't build complexity, build simplicity. One offer, one platform, one solution to one problem. That is it. You do not need to overcomplicate your offer. People buy simplicity when they understand the transformation that you give them from where they are now to what they want. Keep it simple. Number 4, don't mistake likes for leads. Just because you're on social media doesn't mean these vanity metrics can get you leads and get you sales. Social media is a tool that we can use, but we should be using it right. And likes don't mean anything if you cannot convert them into leads. Make sure you've got a really good strategy around how to take your likes into leads and not just leave them there as vanity metrics. Number 5, don't try to scale before you've absolutely got that concrete understanding of what the people want and this problem that you solve for them. Until you've got that rinse repeat method on repeat, don't try to get more customers. Make it better for the customers that you have and the clients that you've worked with. Make it absolutely killer before you start to sell to more people. If you've liked this video, please like and subscribe, and we'll send more your way.